Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for another exciting edition of Is It Soluble? I am your host, Mr. Veve. Please join me in first figuring out how the game works, okay? So, everybody needs to understand that the first thing you need is this tool right here, the back of your periodic table that has these solubility rules right there in the middle for you to reference at any time in the game. Okay, so now let's play. Let's bring out our first contestant, Miss Angry. Here she is. Okay, are you ready to play? Is it soluble?
Sure.
Fantastic. So, what we're going to do is we're going to give you a series of compounds, and you are going to use the solubility rules to tell me, is it soluble?
What does soluble mean?
Does it dissolve in water? Okay. If it dissolves in water, it's soluble. Okay, we'll cut that out later on. Okay. All right, so you're ready to play?
Yes.
Fantastic. Are you ready for your first compound?
Sure.
All right. First compound for you today is CuClO3 2. That would be copper 2 chlorate.
Okay, so copper 2 chlorate. I can see that chlorate is the anion and is in the soluble compounds box. And there are no exceptions, which means all chlorates are soluble.
Judges? That is absolutely correct. Fantastic work. Okay, are you ready for the next one? You are 1 for 1. Please, audience, no help.
Sure.
Sure, next one. We have potassium sulfide. Ooh, this is a tough one.
Potassium sulfide. Well, sulfide's the anion and is in the insoluble compounds box. And then we've got to look at the exceptions. So it's not ammonium, it's not calcium, strontium, or barium, but potassium is an alkali metal in the first column. So this is soluble.
Judges? That is absolutely correct. You avoided the trick. Yes, since potassium is an alkali metal, it is an exception. Therefore, that sulfide right there is soluble. All right, you're on a roll. 2 for 2. Here we go with the next one. We have iron 3 sulfate. Ooh, with the stock metals.
Well, sulfate is in the soluble box. Iron is not an exception, so again, we are soluble.
Judges? Absolutely correct. 3 for 3. You are on a roll. Okay, next one. Calcium carbonate.
Okay. Carbonate is in the insoluble compounds box, and calcium is an alkaline earth metal, so not an exception, so we are insoluble.
We are insoluble? Are you sure?
Yes.
Do you want to use a lifeline?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Fantastic, you are correct. Calcium is not one of the exceptions, making that carbonate compound insoluble. Okay, now we just have one more to go.
Okay.
To go 5 for 5 and win the grand prize. Ready?
Sure.
Silver chloride.
Okay. Chlorine is in the soluble compounds box, and silver is an exception. So silver chloride is insoluble.
Insoluble.
Yes.
Did I hear you say insoluble?
Yes.
That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. 5 for 5. You win the grand prize. You get...
To still teach chemistry.
And this pen.
Thank you.
All right. Please join us next time for another exciting edition of Is It Soluble?